Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Zwift Community Live broadcast of the KISS Europe race out on the London Classic course today. And the riders are just getting lined up in the A and the B categories. We will be covering today. We will be covering the C category as they come across the line. They're looking at 7 laps out on the Classic course, out on the London course. There's about 18 seconds or so to go. 51 racers signed up in the A race. In the B category race, I'm seeing 81 racers actually, with about 3 minutes to go to the start of that race. Riders are getting instructions right now over at the start banner as they are just about to take off. This race today is a part of the Zwift Academy. For those of you who are unaware what the Zwift Academy is all about creating the largest training community in the world online, and it is a global training community open to all riders of all abilities, actually over a 6-week period. And these races right now that we are watching actually are a part of completing that academy. There's a lot of races actually open in the academy for that, so you can go ahead and if you want to jump into the training community with that for the men and the women, you can head over to academy.zwift.com. and if you actually can still register before the 15th and jump in there, and you're going to need to do maybe one of these races. There's a lot of races actually being added though in order to complete the program. It's actually going to be, according to academy.zwift.com, 5 group rides, some Zwift workouts, as well as 2 races that you have to complete in. So a lot of these riders, you can see all the little ZA tabs on the right hand side of the screen here. You do see this. Some of you who are maybe more familiar with Zwift are recognizing there's this little extra icon next to the racers today, and that little extra icon that you see there is a signification that these riders are registered with the Zwift Academy. If you haven't registered already and you're looking to complete it, that was a little something that some people were mentioning, I think, in the group ride I did last night with Casey Shum with the men's sprints workout out on the Classic course, that hey, make sure to register if you want this to count, because I think we didn't see some people with the icon. So make sure you head on over and make that happen. So it does look like though this is going to be a fast and furious race. 51 racers that signed up for the A race. We've got 89 currently in the B category. It looks like with about a minute to go or so. There are races for everyone of all ability levels. Actually, this is the A category we're currently covering. They started about 3 minutes ahead of the B category. The C category will start, I believe, 2 or 3 minutes behind the B category, and then in the D category as well, we'll start 2 or 3 minutes behind them. We do have an attack here early on. Actually, we've got Curling here with Peckover, it looks like, and then McGonagall, also all out of the UK. Hedgehog is there as well with a Groot there. I am Groot hammering away off the front here out of Australia, actually. So a little bit of attack didn't go anywhere. It's going to be difficult to get away on the flat course today, as lots of tactics definitely take place within the group rides and races, especially in the races though when you have a flatter course, because of the drafting that is extremely similar to the outside dynamics when you're drafting on other riders. The B category is just getting underway. We're going to make sure to jump in with them. It looks like a lot of ZA riders jumped into that race as well. While these guys try and figure out what the initial breaks will be and they head on over toward the Classic course, let's go ahead and jump right in with the start of the B category. We got M. Cox here coming out of the Isle of Man, it looks like, and then it will be up toward the front though. The Fast and the Furious starts in Zwift are just absolutely crazy. We do have a Bacon here, and then BRT riding for the BRT. Is it I believe Sam Bacon? S Proud there as well. S Street, Skylar Street there coming from the KRT. We do see debut out of France. International field for sure in and amongst the B category. Look at how spread out it is already up toward the front there. The initial breaks will be happening pretty soon. If you don't grab on immediately to the wheel in front of you and you allow any kind of gap to open up, there is a threat right from the get-go in these races for a break and for a long chasing day. And so a lot of times, because of that initial kick, you can cause those gaps to open up. And this is the only part a lot of times out on course for the classic course and for these flatter courses that you have a situation where they are able to get away right from the get-go. And that's part of the reason I think that these starts are so insanely fast, is that they do have the ability to cause some breaks right from the start. Once they get up to speed, at that point, if you are with the group, it does become much more difficult to get away. So this is a KISS race. So this is the KISS Europe race. For those of you, there are lots of races that go on throughout the day in group rides. We'll do a quick little chat here about what the rules for this race are. You can see on the right-hand side of the course, a lot of the riders have KISS in their name so that they are registered, quote-unquote, for the race, or that ZwiftPower.com will pick up the rider over there for the results. The power-ups are available at all times. You can see a few riders using power-ups, actually, out on course. If you do see a little feather over anybody's head, or you see an arrow power-up over their heads, we do see a few riders actually over in the A category actually throwing down some power-ups as they head into the Trafalgar Square there, and then head on over toward the 1K to go banner. You are seeing our Curling here using a drafting power up, probably because he was in a little bit of trouble for a moment there, at least trying not to expend too much energy at 169 beats per minute right now, 363 watts. Using that drafting power up does give him an advantage in order to hang on to the wheel that's in front of him at less wattage than he would usually have to do. It does look like he is using that to try and work his way through the group here and make his way back up toward the front end of this peloton right now, as there is a break starting to happen as they did make their initial climb into the classic course here right now. Now, looking at the rules then, so power-ups are allowed at all times, but all bikes are allowed, but we haven't seen a TT bike in the world of KISS racing for quite some time. Everyone's kind of figured out at this time that drafting is so incredibly strong in the world of Zwift that you do not usually want to be using those TT bikes unless it is a bike swap at the top of a mountain. That is the only time I've seen one used as of recently. As far as the categories go, it is the usual categories for racing and group rides out on Zwift. It is the for the A category, it is 4.0 watts per kilogram or higher. That's who we are looking at right now. This is a quick little graph that you can look at for the categories. A category, B category 3.2 to 3.9, C category 2.5 to 3.1, D category 0 to 2.4 essentially. So all kinds of effort levels, all kinds of abilities out on Zwift for the racing. If you want to jump on into a race, you can do so very easily by figuring out what your functional threshold power is. So what can you hold for 1 hour straight is what each one of those numbers we're representing, with the power number you're seeing in the upper left hand corner here, 300 watts. Currently A Hinton's putting out 300, 315, 332, and while he's doing that, you can see on the right hand side here 3.8, 3.6, 4.2. As his wattage changed, that number on the right hand side of my screen is changing as well. That is his FTP, his functional threshold power ratio, excuse me, not his functional threshold power ratio, but his watts per kilogram ratio right now that is changing. His functional threshold power would be what ratio would be what he could hold for 1 hour straight, and it's assumed that Hinton can hold 4.0 or higher for 1 hour straight, being in the A category right now. So as we look through here, we do see it is about a solid 25 to 30 riders, actually. I'm going to go ahead and check ZwiftPower.com here real quickly and see how many are actually in and amongst this group as it does update. It does look like the initial break has been about 39 riders, actually. 39 riders that did make it into the initial break. That was the last time was at the mall 300 meter board reverse. So we'll have to wait for the next ticking through point where it does take results and see if there's still 39. It doesn't look like there's quite 39 maybe in and amongst this A category right now, but we'll have to wait for the update over at ZP. So it does look like, though, a lot of heavy hitters. Orgil is here from Innovation. There are a lot of teams actually in the world of Zwift that have organized over the years here, and we are seeing it does look like Team Experimental has shown up in force. Excuse me, no, that's the old, not Team Experimental, excuse me, Innovation. That's Nathan being old school here, because Experimental actually used this kit in the past, actually, before they got their own kit in game. So this was the Team Experimental kit for quite a long time, and now that Experimental has gotten their own kit in game that is just a darker version essentially of the Alienware kit, Innovation has taken over the Alienware kit actually. So Innovation, if you are seeing that Alienware kit in game, a lot of times it's somebody that's either grabbed it, but it is somebody, if they do have that Innovation in their name on the right hand side there, you do know that they are representing that team. Vision Cycling there with Fleetwood, they're represented, as we are seeing Orgil go right on by. Orgil's actually, I believe he sent me a message if this is the correct individual. I'm just going to double check this really quickly here, but yeah, Orgil, Chris Orgil, he actually was a very high level competitive speed skater, actually outdoor inline speed skater, and super strong athlete out of the United Kingdom, actually on the speed skates, and now transferring that over to the cycling, it looks like, which is a really great transfer actually. Hockey slash speed skating go really well together as far as sports go, in building very similar muscle groups. So no surprise that he's a strong rider, able to hang out with the front end of this A group right now. We are seeing Sletner now coming out of Norway, making his way up toward the front here. Melty Man is there, one to watch out for the sprint. Very experienced Zwift racer, actually coming from the KISS Racing team there. Did look like he had one teammate, I believe, in and amongst the group there. We'll go ahead and give Melty Man a ride on here. Moving forward, though, it is going to be Tim Cartwright. I did not actually see him early on. We're talking about heavy hitters. I'm not sure that this guy has lost too many races as of recently. Let's go ahead and check it out, what his recent results have been. I haven't seen Tim in any races for maybe a few days now. Maybe we just haven't been covering the ones that he's a part of. 208 races out on Zwift. He did do a race all the way back on, it looks like it was back on the 1st of September, actually. Took a 6th place, unlike Mr. Tim, not to take a podium. So must have been some heavy hitters. 4.83 watts per kilogram in and amongst that race. Maybe it came down to a sprint finish, because usually he just walks away from the group, and it was on the Volcano Crit course actually, which tends to be a little bit more of a flatter course, but did take a win in the EVR Europe race back on August 25th. So it has been a couple days. I wonder if he did participate in the Elite TT championships for the not the, was it the Elite? Dan Allenby was or David Allenby was posting some picks and a few results from the UK. If anybody's got any information about whether or not Tim participated in that same race over there, I would love to hear all about it, and whether or not that went well for him, because I know that those guys are TT specialists. And so I do have social media integration here. If you guys want to go ahead and interact at all, I do see Kim Little interacting over at the over at Zwift's Facebook here right now, and he's going ahead and cheering on Mr. Hoppy Marita as well as Quentin for the easy win. So that is a Team Experimental as well as Vision Cycling who he looks to be cheering for. Tor Arn Marnussen is saying go Norway over there. So a couple cheering on their favorite racers as well as countries, it looks like. So if you would like to interact, you can do so by chatting with us over at Zwift's Facebook, or you can tweet at Z Community Live, at Z Community Live, and we can bring you right on into the broadcast. We are also watching the chat over at Mixer and Twitch right now. If you are over at either of those places, we will be able to interact with you. I believe we do have a few mods over there as well, able to answer any questions that you might have about what is happening with this program right now. So Melty Man right along with Jay Scott, though, a little bit of attack early on here, and with Cartwright in and amongst the group, he's just going to get a free ride, maybe being one of the stronger racers, allowing Melty Man maybe to get a little bit of wiggle room here. I'm not sure it's going to happen. Burton here from the TFC, always a super strong rider with the pink socks and the yellow kit and the orange Zwift had, pulling them right back into the fold here. Melty Man not going anywhere just as of yet. So back in with the B racers though, and it looks like somehow some of the B racers have found themselves in and amongst the A's. Is that correct, or is this an A? No, so Pelosi here right along with Jay Scott Burton. Yeah, we have found some of the B riders, it looks like, in and amongst the A category, actually, with our other feeds. So we'll have to wait and see for ZwiftPower.com for me to find the correct group to be with. But we'll go ahead and give a shout out then, because we did find a few of the C category riders. Not sure if it's the front end of the C category. We'll have to find out in just a moment here. 3.5 miles in though so far, about 2.5 watts per kilogram currently coming from D Castillo. It says B up top there though, so but C in the right hand side, so we'll have to wait and see. It does say C though there on the right hand side of the screen though, and we're gonna go with that one though. Quentin Go says Toledo Torpedo. Johnny Nonlet's saying, I heard Kim caused a bit of an upset in the WBR race this morning. What's going on with that, Johnny? Maybe we just need to bring Johnny into the broadcast through our Discord and see what he has to say about that. But we are seeing, it looks like D Costello right along with Jay Steris, and it will be M Warner, A Berg, and these guys are all a part of the Zwift Academy. Actually looks like they're getting their race in. Hoffman there also out of Germany. It looks like Shields there riding for Nunn. And I have a feeling, is Nunn actually a team in Zwift now, or is Nunn the signification that I don't have a team and I'm looking for a team? Shields, I absolutely love the Nunn team. That's really great. Hey Toledo, when are we going to do Spider-Man racing? We'd love to have some Spider-Man racing coming from Mr. Toledo Torpedo. Toledo Torpedo actually broadcasts over on Mixer as well as Twitch, I believe. Lots of streamers actually in the Zwift world out there. If you haven't been checking that out, make sure to check out Toledo Torpedo or any of the other guys chatting in the Mixer channel or the Twitch channel. A lot of them have started their own streams that you are able to follow. So Burton here now, 5.6 watts per kilogram. It looks like hanging in amongst the group. Nobody going anywhere just as of yet. It's been Grupo Compacto. It's going to be a very tactical race, it looks like here. The only place really out on the classic course to try and get away is the climb, actually, through the hall and into the square. So we'll have to see if they are going to play the games here. It does look like it is going to be pelotoned up and nobody going anywhere just as of yet. Andvik here up toward the front does look like Hoppy Merida then, and then it will be Cartwright, Groot, Metcalf, Pelosi, Bokarad, all hanging in and amongst the group together right now. And looking through here, I'm going to go ahead and see if we got any chat coming through. We are seeing, all right, thanks a lot, Johnny, for bringing in the interactions there. Let's go ahead and see what's happening with the Toledo Torpedo here. And this is, check out Toledo Torpedo streaming Zwift at mixer.com/Toledo Torpedo. No problem, Toledo Torpedo. There you go, buddy. And I believe that the Torpedo, he is a triathlete, I think, mainly in his focus as far as cycling goes. I believe that picture is actually of him crossing a finish line in a triathlon. And so if you're looking for any kind, he also does some racing on Zwift, but it's mainly some training, I believe. He's got some great Spider-Man themes around his stream, actually. Car right now up at the front, though, 5.8 watts per kilogram. Starting to make things a little bit interesting. Metcalf there following up pretty quickly. They're curling right alongside him with 4.5 watts per kilogram. Grulf now as well, 5.2 coming out of Denmark on that pink bike, pink Tron bike now. Melty Man there. It does look like a little bit of a break is being caused. Hoppy Maria, 5.5 watts per kilogram, 156 though, nobody in too much bother. Quinn LaFay though off the back just a little bit there, riding for Vision Cycling, 167 beats per minute right now, looking clean shaven now. It does look like Van Geit coming from the TKBE team is going to be one to watch out for as always at 152 beats per minute. They're waiting up for that sprint, boys and girls, that's for sure. With a lot of racing yet to go, it is 7 laps out there, out on course, 43K. So it is going to be, I believe, 5 more to go out here today. In the B category, the C category, then we do see A Burt now up toward the front of a chase, trying to bring these boys back in. I think that some of the A's did come through this C category, and we are seeing Janasic there right along with Billard now trying to chase down BJ Alfonso. So it is saying C on the far right hand side, but I believe this is a B category race because BJ Alfonso does race in the B category. We are seeing Dinsdale now trying to make a break in this B category right now with Caleb then out of Ireland. Then Griffin there up toward the front with Luis, and then it will be Meteren out of the Netherlands coming from also a Zwift Academy rider. It looks like you're getting one of his Zwift races done. Bentley there, 3.8 watts per kilogram. And then it is going to be the PTZ rider. It will be Lon Kurik. They're trying to chase that down in that PTZ kit now. Bentley now leading this out up and over the top of the climb out of the hall here into the square. And it will be a little bit of a break, about 1 second there. Jay Holmes, 3.2 watts per kilogram. Griffin then, and then Lawrence. We are seeing a B signification though amongst some of the riders, so there might be something going on with some of the categories here. There are only about 17 seconds back actually from those A racers that did come through, it looks like, just a moment ago. Speaking of the A race though, things are definitely heating up just ahead of these boys. It is about 2 second gap to Van Geit, who's just trying to hang on. 137, 135 beats per minute though, and is it looks like 92 watts there. Interesting. I'm not sure what's happening. I think it's absolute blow up there coming from him. Cartwright at the back end of this race though, just resting up as they're allowing, I believe, some team tactics to take place as the Melty Man's kicking it on through 11 watts per kilogram. That's definitely team tactics there. Cartwright goes to the back, waits and sits in, makes sure that he's resting up as much as possible as the Melty Man kicks it off the front, 8 watts per kilogram. That was up at about 700 watts momentarily there. Jay Scott seeing the threat now going off the front as well, 186 beats per minute, but the Melty Man now 6.5 watts per kilogram consistently. Open up a 3 second gap. It's going out little by little here, 28 meters, 30 meters, 40 meters, almost a full on 50 meters and 5 seconds now. We are seeing Pearson now trying to be in it amongst this group for the break. Jay Scott trying to follow again there, but now Pearson gets so that was a very tactical effort there coming from the man out of Sweden here, because he allowed Scott to pull the group up at that attack, and the group really sat on his wheel, and so it was almost like a lead out into that attack from Pearson to get back on the Melty Man's wheel. They've got 3 seconds. That is a gap to work with actually, and if Metcalf does not make the chase right now, and those boys are able to pull 5 to 6 watts per kilogram in conjunction with each other on the front, because that's what they're gonna have to do. They're gonna be one sit in. They're gonna have to start working together, and one of them's gonna have to take the headwind to the take the drag on that avatar to the face and just make sure that they hold that 5 to 6 watts per kilogram in order to keep this gap growing, because it's all about establishing the gap and then growing it continually throughout the race. Because if you stay within 10 seconds of this group, or 15 seconds even of this group, when it ramps up at the end, it will all be over. But Cartwright allowing his teammate to get the gap and then not chasing it down slowly, but actually going full on to get with that group that made that initial break, so that there is no draft on him when he makes that attack. And the WBR racer here, Mark, they're also with Jay Scott, and it looks like the Dempster man is going right along with him from the BRT team here, coming out of Belgium, and Vic right along with Hazelstead. Bogarad trying to make the group as well. And this was extremely tactical here. I wouldn't be surprised if there was some chat going on between each other in Discord, or maybe through the Zwift mobile link. They were private messaging each other, talking about what they were going to do, because they sent the Melty Man off the front. He established a gap. It was large enough that then Cartwright could attack from the group, not pull anybody with him, went into those orange numbers, making sure that nobody was able to hold his wheel. And now the group has been established with a break. Now Olsen off the back, 2 seconds, and now they're finding some lap traffic. That makes it even worse, because it's going to be difficult to find out whose wheel is where. And if you're already at limit, unable to hold on to that wheel, 167 coming from Sletner there. Looks like Olsen, 153, not too high. We're hopping Maria, the 171, and they're going to be stuck in and amongst this group, and they're going to have to push right on through this lap traffic. And now these boys are on the rivet, because Cartwright's at the front, 2.7 watts per kilogram. Bogarad's there as well. Melting Man, Dempster is there, 6.5. The gap has been established now. 12 meters is the difference. Curly now, as we look over the shoulder here, just able to grab on. Now you see see the two KRT boys now on the front trying to make it difficult for anybody to get back on terms. It does look like the orange numbers are not being thrown down just yet, but here is the chasers now. It does look like Bolkrod stand there at the front, 4.7 watts per kilogram. Merida, and it looks like Anvik, Scott, Hazelstead, Olsen, all just barely able to grab back onto the group now, and it will settle down most likely after those matches have been burned by the KISS Racing team. But Dempster here from the BRT, 179 beats per minute. Definitely had to burn a match to get back on terms with that group. Pelosi, though, is off the back now in the A category. And now we do see Burton here kicking it as well, trying to get back on terms. Off the back by about 2 seconds. It's not said and done just yet. Keto's just in front of him in the C category. He can't actually see that rider and riders nearby, but Keto's getting some advantage actually here by going with these boys right now, actually, and that is a part of the race here, that if you do get lapped, you do get a little bit of advantage if you can grab on to a wheel of the riders nearby. So Lenaric is Lena. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that, BJ Alfonso. Ed Zutzkimari, and back of the C's. Nathan Lewis Dinsdale's having had a dropout lap 1. Gotcha. Lewis Dinsdale, thanks you so much for the tweet over at Z Community Live. That's extremely helpful, actually. So super helpful. So knowing that where those guys and gals are at, there's a little bit of a mix up here between the C's and the B category, it seems like, but Dinsdale's letting us know that he's at the back of the C's. So I'll have to look through here and see what ZwiftPower.com is telling us about the current live results. So if you haven't checked out already, guys and gals, ZwiftPower.com is a great community resource actually to that you can use for live results as well as results after the races. So you can go ahead and head on over to ZwiftPower.com and you actually click on the race. I actually go ahead and show you guys exactly how to get this done, as some people might not know. So this is the front page for ZwiftPower.com as we wait for a few more of the attacks to happen in the A and the B category. And here's all of the races and rides that are currently being tracked. It's not just races, it's also rides and workouts that are tracked out there. You go ahead and find the current race going on. Here's the KISS Europe race, and I'm going to go ahead and click on that. 7 laps on the classic course, 43.1 kilometers. And this is the final results page once it's finished, but there's a live results page you can actually click on the upper right-hand corner here. Once you click on that, you go ahead and you can also get a live video if we are covering it. Zwift Community Live is covering it. The live video will pop up here. If you go ahead and click that down, you can actually see live video coming in from Twitch over there. But then you can see the A category up on top here with all of the time gaps as well as what kind of wattage that they put up. 4.8 watts per kilogram, 5.0 for Metcalf so far, 4.5 coming from the Multi-Man lots, all the power-ups that they've currently used, what team that they're riding for, or if they're looking for a team. I'm going to go ahead and look through here. Actually, for the B category, it will be Grunwell, Lamoa, and Lemon, as well as Evans. So we're going to look for that group out on course in my other feed to see if we can find out where those boys are at. And it does look like it is a large group actually in and amongst them, with no time gaps being in there just yet. But this is ZwiftPower.com for all of your live race coverage. Make sure to head on over there, as well as the results after the race in the KISS races. So it does look like now we do have no real serious attacks up and over the top of the climb here. 13.1 miles in total right now. I thought I switched my I swear I switched it over. Used to be able to push U for units, but you can't do that any longer. Bring back the U for changing over the units in game. I don't want to risk pushing menu right now. As actually I can. I'd have to go back to me and I'd be stuck in the pen. So not going to happen. But we are going to be looking for the front end of that B category. It is going to be Grunwell, Lamoa, as well as Lemon and Evans and Campbell that are leading that out. We'll see if we can find them out on course anytime soon. I believe I have actually found them. I am seeing Mitchell, Hannon, Shirkas, as well as it looks like Jay Want out there in that B category. Actually, they're being chased down right now by the A category riders here. Up ahead of this group, actually, it will be Trout and then Jode. So that was a chase group here, right along with Danielson then. And then it will be Lamoa here in Whitaker. This is it. Verhoeven there also out there riding for CTWT. And Jones riding for the PTZ team. Lost there coming from the the KRT team. Skylar Street is there as well from the KRT. So I believe we have found the front end of the B category right along with Worthington, Stevenson there, and it looks like Robson. They're all going to be heading into the hall for the climb. That's the only place out on course that you can actually try and get away most usually in and amongst these racers. Huge group in and amongst this B category though. It's got to be, I mean, I just clicked through for quite some time there. It's got to be at least 30, maybe even 50 riders here in and amongst this B category. So you're going to have to see some efforts here to try and get away, as it's been Grupo Compacto. Everybody's been kind of holding hands out on course here so far. We'll see if anybody's got any power-ups or anything to try and get away from this group, or if it's going to stay this way for quite some time. Let's go ahead and see if anybody's ramping it up before they head into the climb here momentarily, as we are seeing Campbell up toward the front here, 3.6 watts per kilo. It looks like everybody's just trying to kind of find, there's a lot of shifting going on in the pack right now, so it seems like everybody's not wanting to be too far back, but at the same time not trying to take that up front headwind and work too hard for the group. So a lot of shifting going on, so it's definitely Grupo Compacto here. 3.7 watts per kilogram, 162 beats per minute. We are seeing 5 watts per kilogram though come from M. Wood here right now, as he is starting to make a little bit of attack into the climb now. We are seeing now Whitlocks with a little bit of attack as well, 4.0. Thomas now at the front with Cat, and we are seeing a little bit of gap though coming from M. de Jode there from TKBE from the coming out of Belgium, 12.6 miles in, so definitely in the lead right now with 4 seconds, not waiting up, no tactics at this point coming from this rider besides attacking off the front. So no more holding hands. 4.5 watts per kilogram is all the race WBR rider is going to have, but we are seeing Wisselsberger coming from the PTZ team with that feather power up out of Germany now, kicking it and trying to chase down, it looks like Verhoeven as well as de Jode. This may be the next moment for the break amongst this B category. With such a large group, it's going to be difficult to get away. We are seeing Vigo as well as Dahl and then Wood, Roy, all in 4 watts per kilogram range though. Let's see if these boys have any continuance up over the top and can cause this gap to actually go out. It is the 3-second gap now. This is a threat now, as the TKBE riders kicking into 185 beats per minute though. Absolutely huge effort there. 185, 183. Where does he max out at? That's going to be my question for the Belgian rider here. Let's see if we can actually find any past results for M. de Jode. It's such a huge group actually. I'm seeing it's like 35, 40 plus actually. Got to scroll through for quite some time. 18 races out on Zwift actually for this rider riding for TKB. 280 watt FTP is their estimation there. Does look like he did race back on the 31st, got a 9th actually in the KISS Europe race back on August 31st actually in the B category. Recently got some upgrades though, it looks like. Is that right? Is that or no, uncategorized maybe? And actually it's been quite some time since he's been out on Zwift racing. Interesting, he's actually got better results with 3.88 watts per kilogram in that B category. His absolute best for his 95% actually in that KISS Europe race with that 9th place. So it looks like the summer has treated Mitch de Jode well actually over in Belgium, with some better fitness here coming into the Zwift season now and starting to race again. I do recognize the name. I do recognize it. Over the winter did lots of racing, it looks like, back in January, December, and November of last year. So good to see him coming back into the world of Zwift racing recently now. We are seeing loss here from KRT as well. Watch out for him coming out of the Netherlands for the W, but it does look like it's Grupo Compacto again. It doesn't look like it went much of... There wasn't a huge, well, actually, no, looking through here, it does look like it was whittled down a little bit. Where's the break? What was the first one to bite the dust off the back? That'll be the question. Looking through here, there's so many to click through here, but I'm going to see if I can find. It does look like an 11-second gap back to G. Souza, and I'm not sure they're going to see that front group again with 12 seconds now. That is going out continually, and without a solid 5 watts per kilogram on the front end of this group, those boys are kicking it into 3 to 4 watts per kilogram. I'm not sure they're going to be see again. So that is the break there that was caused by Mitch de Jode, as well as the PTZ and KRT riders that were up toward the front of this race. So solid effort there and good break now. Now we are seeing the A category though. We're starting to see some fireworks over there, as we do see Burton right along with Dempster now kicking it through Whitehall now into the square, and it is going to be Cartwright at the front right along with the Melty Man. KRT again throwing down the fireworks, lots of power. Dempster trying to go gold right along with him. We are seeing Merida now as well getting in and amongst the Happy Merida, who rides for the Merida factory team in real life, actually, and is the UK, the United Kingdom Merida factory team, killing it at the front of this race as well, trying not to get dropped off. All back together. It looks like it was chased down, except for Groot 2 seconds back now. And you do see there's some serious power being thrown down. Hoppy Merida about 1 second off, it looks like, from Stan's wheel. Fleetwood just barely able to hold on to Stan's wheel. If they don't close it down now, it will go out. And you know that the effort is extremely hard when they get into that straight line, because everyone is just trying to hold on to the wheel that's right in front of them at that moment. Nice ride on. Go. Xavier Tamburini is saying good to see you over there. And we are seeing at Z Community Live, go, Jasmine Mueller for her record. Hey, so this is a community thing going on right now as we wait for a couple more of the attacks to come on through. Jasmine Mueller is actually going for a record right now. We've interviewed her here on Zwift Community Live. She actually set a record in Zwift last year, I believe, or was earlier this year. It was either last year or earlier this year for the longest distance actually completed in the shortest amount of time out on Zwift, actually. But go Jasmine Mueller for her record, Le Jog, or an 1,000-mile attempt actually happening right now, I believe. So really cool to see. Thanks a lot. And let's go ahead and get head on over to Twitter and tweet at Jasmine Mueller as a community member who uses Zwift as a huge part of her training for her endurance training. Absolutely awesome to see her going for that record. Let's go ahead and cheer her on over at Twitter. Probably be the best way to do so. Kyle Augustine's coming in. Smash it, Hinton, the director sportif over at Innovations, hanging out there. And good to see you, Kyle Augustine, hanging out and cheering on his teammates. Hinton is in and amongst this lead group right now. We'll see if he can grab the W. At least he was. I'm not sure if he dropped off recently. No, he is still in amongst this group right now. As we click through, we almost actually lost the front end of the group there momentarily. But I believe Hinton right amongst a solid group still. Not too many have dropped off just as of yet. So we'll have to wait for the next round maybe. Cartwright, though, is at the front here with Metcalf, still not slowing down. 167 beats per minute right now. And we are seeing Pearson right along with Metcalf in there, 172, 171. Stountner has made this front group. Hinton does look like Hazelstead, a Z Zwift Academy rider right now, 3.7 watts per kilogram. You are seeing all those ZA icons there, a lot of these riders. And if you are doing the race and you are already completing the KISS race, and I'm not seeing, I mean, I am seeing a lot of ZA icons in there, but I'm not seeing everybody with one, or not everybody, but I mean, you know, it's about 25% of this lead group. If you're doing the KISS race anyways, and you're going to get these races in for the completion of the Zwift Academy, you get a cool in-game kit, you get to be a part of the one of the largest online training communities in the world, as well as being a leader amongst, you know, amongst the community for encouraging on, I think, other U23 riders to go after that that pro contract, that Continental pro contract for Team Dimension Data, or for the women out there for the Canyon SRAM team as well, that will be given away for the 2018 season through this talent identification program, but also to be a part of that huge training community. I'm really enjoying actually the groups, Discord's being used, as well as the chat in game has really brought the community together in a lot of ways, and you get to start to know some of the riders and chat with them and talk about what their goals are with doing Zwift Academy, and it's been a really cool experience. So if you are out there jumping into the race right now, you get the requirements done anyways. So go ahead and register over at academy.zwift.com, and you can get some of the benefits there of the unlocks in game as well if you do complete the program. And it's all about bettering yourselves through it, and it's got a pretty cool training program actually. Zwift Community Live says you can follow Jasmine actually over at, oh, thanks, I appreciate that there from Zwift Community Live. Follow Jasmine Mueller, excuse me, at Lejog Record at co.uk. Follow me when she starts her attempt tomorrow. We can't give her ride-ons in real life, but you can follow her over there. Where did everyone go? Jens, no, Must have had some sort of a dropout there, Jens. Sorry to hear that, as he's tweeting at us over at Z Community Live. I'm not sure what happened there, Jens. Sorry to hear that you had a dropout. It looks like there's some sort of internet connection issue. It looks like there was a network issue there, but these guys are all together, it looks like here. I'm fully connected, so I think it's on your end, isn't it? It looks like the servers are good for me, Jens, from Vision Cycling. Sorry to hear that. Just keep going, though. Complete it. Get it all the way to the finish. It looks like you had about 23K to go, or 4 laps. So 4 laps solo TT mode. It's turned into the TT part of the Zwift Academy for Jens Friedman here. So also sitting out the front, 4.9 watts per kilogram now out of Norway with curling, innovation, Dempster's there as well, all together now as they're starting into their next climb up and over the top of the hall one more time. It does look like Pearson's making his way to the front, trying to position himself correctly. 176 beats per minute. Olsen, Metcalf now, and it looks like no attacks just net coming from them as Metcalf keeping it steady there, 165 beats per minute. Jay Scott's been able to follow. He's been the kind of the doorkeeper, it feels like, here, as the gatekeeper here, as he has been holding the wheels there, following the moves lately, it seems like, from the teams out on course here with TFC, as well as KISS Racing Team has really been the most aggressive so far, it seems like. So share an anonymous little source. Hopper Media does an amazing chipmunk impression celebration when he wins crit races. I'm being told, coming from Johnny Namit, shared by an anonymous little source. So Kim Little, Hopping Reader out there winning. It looks like crit race in real life there, out on some cobbles. So good to see Hopping Reader. Is that actually? That's not in this same cobbled course in the UK, is it, Johnny? That'd be really great to know. But it looks like Hoppy's gotten some real life. That's always a question too when it comes to Zwift racing. People are like, whatever, these guys aren't real. What's going on? This is all virtual, but it definitely seems to be paying off for Hoppin' Marita with that chipmunk impression across the finish line here. Hinton now up toward the front. Looks like a couple of attacks did take place there. 4.9 watts per kilogram from Dempster. 184 beats per minute. That's about as high as we've seen his heart rate go so far. Definitely getting into over threshold, I believe, for the Dempster here, as it is going to be Melty Man, 3.1 watts per kilogram now, 159 beats per minute right now. It looks like Melty Man here up into the tempo to threshold, as well as I know he doesn't beat quite as high as the rest of them. So we are seeing Burton here, 3.5 watts per kilogram. 181 beats per minute. So Burton right on the rivet right now, 20 miles in. I believe this is this the final right here, boys and girls? I am not good at the conversion over to the from, so 22 miles. So they got 2 miles to go, 22 miles out on course. How do they have 2 miles to go though? If interesting, 43. So I believe it's going to be 1 lap to go. I believe it's going to be 1 lap to go. I believe that's incorrect. I don't believe it's 22 miles / 36 kilometers. I have a feeling that that's not the right conversion. Let's go ahead and do a quick little conversion here. 41 km 2 miles will be 25. So we're gonna have 1 to go, I believe, out on course after this one. I need a broadcast mode. How many laps to go up above would be absolutely amazing. Hint. So McLaughlin here, 4.5 watts per kilogram up toward the front. I know this isn't the last because they would have been ramping it up like crazy at this point. But McLaughlin trying to get away maybe here with a little bit of a dig. It's not the best way to do so though. If you want to get away from the pack in a Zwift race, especially out on these flatter sections, it's got to be an all-out attack, as you saw Cartwright and the Melty Man doing earlier here. Watts per kitten, Lee Gosden is saying. And so now we're getting a little bit funny over at Zwift's Facebook here. It looks like here Fleetwood now 165 beats per minute, right along with Jay Scott here. Doesn't look like anybody's going anywhere just as of yet. So let's go ahead and see if it's a little bit less holding hands happening here over in the B category. But it looks like we've got a whole lot of Grupo Compacto out here today in and amongst the racers. Lemon up toward the front, right along with Innovation now with Mason. Actually, Grunwell with an attack, and before they even hit the climb through the hall here, here, and that's actually a very, very smart move, actually, because it's such a short climb. It's only about 30 seconds or so, and if you don't kick early and break it up a little bit prior to there, most of the racers are going to be able to go right along with you. And so Grunwald right along with Mason from Innovation, and then it will be Stevenson able to hang on to that wheel as well. Worthington is there right along with Van Malso, and then it will be out of the Netherlands, coming out of the Netherlands there, coming right across as well. Smashing there coming from Way Team, WAY Team, 167 beats per minute. It looks like absolutely smashing the pedals right now. Whitlock's Innovation, Worthington, Grunwald, and then Jones from the PTZ team at 170 beats per minute. Saunders is there as well. Grunwald able to hang on. It looks like they've all closed it right on down, and so the attack didn't quite accomplish quite what they were looking for, but it looks like maybe able to put a few on their back foot, and maybe if these front runners are able to attack again, they'll be able to break this apart. And with a lap and a half to go out on course, we'll have to see if that is going to happen here. Grunwald up at the front now again with a little bit of a gap here, and then 4.5, 4.1 watts per kilogram. It's still all Grupo Compacto kind of, man. No like committals. Or there's just not enough power in the legs to commit to the attack. Wisselsberger, though, going there. Maybe a little bit of commitment from him. 179 beats per minute. 516 watts. Looking over his shoulder here. Does look like it was able to break the pack up a little bit, as there is a group that is falling off the back here. All the power-ups now being thrown down. Arrow power-ups, feather power-ups, all trying to hang on to that attack. Coming from Wisselsberger from the PTZ team. Whitlock's there from the BRT team. Coming right alongside him as well in that power tap kit right along with the Orange Tron bike. That is their kit as well. Actually, it's Worthington right on the wheel there of the other BRT rider, Whitlock's, actually. So we got two up from the Bolt Racing team, actually, as we look over his shoulder here, trying to make things interesting. Wisselsberger following from the PTZ team there as well. And it looks like this may be the break, but Stevenson there has about 6 watts per kilogram to answer. Grunwald trying to kick it as well as 6.5 watts per kilogram, or excuse me, 4.5 watts per kilogram. Looks like Grunwald might be able to make this juncture and drag the entire group right on up to them. Innovation is there as well with Mason. We are seeing Saunders, and then it will be Lost KRT, and they all just barely have the wheel right in front of them, which is causing the groups to come all back together. P Chunky here, 3.8 watts per kilogram. I'm trying to just hold back and only do what is needed, but it is out to 2 seconds, so Chunky kicks into that 7 watts per kilogram. They're all trying to play so smart and might be punished for it, though. We'll have to see. There may be a little bit of a gap that has gone out, and they may not be able to close this down, actually, because they've all kind of been looking at each other to close that gap down rather than just making it happen quickly. And that's actually what is causing this group to stay together at this point, as they're all kind of holding back a little bit and just doing what's needed to get back on terms, rather than maybe allowing that gap to go out and then closing it down very quickly. Now, if you're already on the rivet, of course, you're not going to allow that to happen. If you're already on an absolute maximum effort that you know you can hold, you're just going to give just enough to bring it back. But if you know that you've got enough left in the tank to hold off just a little bit and then kick and allow a gap to go out to 2, 3, 4 seconds, and then kick to close it down, then you don't bring the rest of the group with you, and you can actually cause those gaps to go out. But it's a risk to take, and with so many in this league group, it's not the greatest risk, actually, because all you're doing at that point is breaking a few off from the group, burning a match, and then still going to be having a large group of riders to deal with. All right, in and amongst the A racers, though, they're coming into the final, I believe, here. 22.8 miles in right now. J. Scott, 9.0 watts per kilogram. Denster there also at 7.8 with the arrow power being thrown down. I have a feeling this may be the final attack up and over through. We'll have to see how it ramps up here, as I believe we're 23 miles in right now with two to go. I believe 2 to go, so that will be right around that 41K, 7 laps into the race. Now the Melty Man is off the back here. Where's Cartwright? Cartwright still playing it smart. He, I believe, would be able to close this down if he wanted to. Innovation here right along with Hinton, Scott, Dempster all together. There is a gap now at this point. Can they hold on to it? But there is a really strong group of riders behind them, barreling down after them now. It's J. Scott, Bolkrod now 4.2 watts per kilogram. Hazelstead, Olsen, Race WBR, Pelosi, Metcalf, Cartwright actually off the back 7.6 watts per kilogram. 10 watts per kilogram from Cartwright, knowing he does not want to let this go. Fleetwood's there as well. Stan, Burton, they're going to be dropped off unless Stan can close this down right now. He was sticking with Cartwright, but Cartwright jumped him, and it looks like with a whole lot of riders still in amongst this group, 4 seconds is the gap, and Stan having to burn a match way before the finish line actually here. 2 seconds is the gap now. It's all back together. Melty Man is not leading things out, and everybody's getting back into Grupo Compacto mode, holding hands, waiting for the final sprint with 1K to go. You do not want to be the man on the front unless you're leading things out for the team. Metcalf with a dropout though. No, 5.4 watts per kilogram. Probably yelling and screaming at his setup. Don't have an ANT plus dropout right now as you're going into the final. Now he's going to have to make up for that. Cartwright though at the front, ramping it up. It's actually going to be the Melty Man here being the lead out man. Actually, no, Cartwright leading out the Melty Man. They're confused. Who's doing the lead out? They're leading each other up left and right here. 7.6 watts per kilogram coming from Cartwright. They're not messing around. They have a 2-second gap. They're not going to wait up at this point. They've got 2 up front. And the Melty Man with the lead out, with the aero power up, Cartwright on his wheel, making it happen. And it's going to be a KRT for the KISS Racing team today, boys and girls. 1-2, I believe, but Bolkrod getting the advantage here from that lead up, but Cartwright still got plenty of wattage, I believe, to give, but I think Cartwright is actually allowing the Melty Man maybe to take this one and not going around his teammate here and just letting him lead it up, but here comes Cartwright, 9 watts per kilogram, looking over the shoulder though, it is going to be the Melty Man. Will he take it? Melty Man followed by Bolkrod. Cartwright takes third actually today. That's kind of an upset there, but I believe, I'm not sure Cartwright had anything left. It looked like maybe he was allowing Melty Man to take the win and blocking for him, or perhaps just nothing left, and the Melty Man takes it outright though. What an effort there coming from Brandy Melting Tallow. Effort, a huge effort from way out, 7 watts per kilogram before they even came through the underpass there. What an amazing job from the riders there. And actually now, wait a second. Do they have one to go? Wait a second. Do they have one to go? They have one to go. Was this a mistake for 7 laps? They've got 1 to go. What happened? Did it measure as 8 laps? That wasn't all out for the win. That wasn't all out for the win, but now they've got 1 to go and they've got a gap, and it's Bolkrod and Cartwright. It's still, we thought it was the bell lap. We thought it was the final, but it was only the bell. And everybody already sprinted for the line, but it's going to be Dempster and Hasselstead all trying to close it down. What happened there? I thought it was the finish because there was a 41-kilometer race, but it wasn't. They've got 1 to go. They still got to keep racing to complete the race, boys and girls. Bolkrod on the front, Melty Man, Cartwright now still making it happen. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. I don't know if it was my mistake, but I thought that was 7 laps. I thought it was it said 41 in the in ZwiftPower.com. It said it was going to be a 43.1 kilometer race. That's 25 or 24, whatever that is, miles up at the top here, boys and girls. So I think perhaps maybe a mix-up with in game with 8 laps rather than 7. According to, I think it was just a mistake over at ZwiftPower.com. They were all following my commentary, maybe, or maybe up at the top there was something going on, because they got to know how many laps to go. It says right up at the top there how many laps to go here. Maybe it's the race that never ends, just like the song that never ends. This is the song that never ends, boys and girls. It goes on and on, my friend. Here we go. Bolkrod now up at the front here, breaking away now from Cartwright now. They're going to know how many it is to go, maybe from up on top of the race now. Cartwright now 6.3 watts per kilogram, 181 beats per minute. I swear that they were going for the finish there and for the W, but maybe not. It looked like that was an all-out sprint for the finish. Cartwright now 7.3 watts per kilogram is off the back from Bolkrod. Bolkrod trying to hold on to this gap, but Cartwright chasing him down. He is a maniac on the bike, boys and girls. He can TT. He can hunt down almost anybody. 1.3 watts per kilogram, though. Bolkrod's got it all day long here. From Norway here, 5.7 watts per kilogram. Cartwright still trying to close it down. 184 beats per minute right now. Cartwright now 7 watts per kilogram. Keeps on kicking it up in that 182 right now. Not sure he's going to see it again. And Andreas X saying, what a killer. Go, Frederick here. You need Jesper's Aussie Ecrit final lap combo. I definitely knew that. Forget warm-up cams. BJ Alfonso is saying over at Zwift's Facebook. A lot of lol over there as well. And Alex Hinks is saying that's a killer, all out for a sprint finish over at the Facebook. Johan Nordquist is saying it's not over. It's not over until Tim Cartwright sings, it looks like, out here as well. So we'll have to see if we can get Tim back to the front. Does look like it's going to be happening here. And it looks, keep on sprinting, I guess, is what Ricardo Gama is saying. I think that's all on me, boys and girls. I believe it was supposed to be an 8-lap race, and that's what the riders are seeing in game, I believe, for a total of 28 miles out there or so. It does look like it's all together here with Tim Cartwright, and it looks like Bokrad coming out of Norway. So it's going to be Norway versus the UK fake news tour on Martin Newson. Yep, a whole lot of it going on here. Bokrad now kicking it, but it looks like Cartwright now 6.7 watts per kilogram, 7 watts per kilogram coming from the man out of Norway here. The Norwegian legs trying to make it happen to chase down Cartwright. 179 beats per minute. The heart rates are so crazy high. These boys are on the rivet the entire time, absolutely demolishing themselves. But Pelosi coming out of Italy here, out of nowhere with that drafting power up, trying to get away from the rest of the group here. Looks like he may be able to make this happen right now. And it looks like Scott, though, 8 watts per kilogram, trying to chase that down. It is only, it looks like 15 seconds up to these front runners. Cartwright 1.7 watts per kilogram, and it looks like another attack there coming from the Norwegian rider. Now it looks like Cartwright 6.8 watts per kilogram one more time. Warm up plus 7 laps. BJ Alfonso is letting us know. And now it looks like Jay Scott now only 11 seconds back here. Metcalf now will be Pelosi, Melty Man, Hazelstead. They're up toward the front. And now it looks like it is only 10 seconds. They're closing it down quickly here. And with that effort that they've already thrown down, they're going to have to not be holding hands playing tactics at any point right here. It's going to have to be a solid effort all the way to the finish line, because Jay Scott is attacking. He is on the warpath right here. 198 beats per minute, 6.4 watts per kilogram. Off the back, though, it will be Pelosi here. Looks like Scott will be solidifying that third place if he holds on to this effort all the way to the finish line, unless there's a crazy lead-out train from the chasers. There they are over his shoulder, and it will be 10 seconds up to Bokrad and Cartwright. I don't think they'll be seen again over this last 1K. Melty Man now attacking from the group, 10 watts per kilogram, 158 beats per minute. Scott here now, 2-second gap is going to be the difference. It looks like the Melty Man might be able to close that back in as they do come around for the lap traffic right now. Melty Man 5.6 watts per kilogram going through a few of the C racers now. Scott now 3 seconds up from him. Melty Man looking for that podium spot, trying to chase down Jay Scott. 5.1 watts per kilogram with Jay Scott. 200 beats per minute, boys and girls. 6.2 watts per kilogram. Cartwright now 4.6 as well, trying to battle it out with Bokrad. Bokrad's got a gap though over Cartwright. This might be an upset here. 4 meters actually. He's gonna have to hold on to it. 9-10 watts per kilogram though is what Cartwright's got to give. Not sure that's going to be matched. And here comes the aero power up. Look at the gap go out immediately as Tim Cartwright lets us know who's got the wattage bazooka, boys and girls. 182 beats per minute, 700 watts through the sprint section, holding him off. It looks like here Bokrad here trying to hold off Pearson here. Pearson though chasing him down like a maniac. Let's see if he can make it happen here. Last second upset there from Pearson. Will it happen? No. Bokrad holds off for second place, followed by Pearson out of Sweden. And then it will be the race WBR boy, it looks like, just ahead of Stan and Hazelstead. Does look like the Melty Man and the rest were caught. We'll have to wait for zippower.com for the actual results today for that race there. But what an effort there from Tim Cartwright there, and him and the Melty Man breaking it apart. That was super tactical there. Looks like Sweden was just behind Bokrad there for that, I believe, was it second or third place out there today. Again, if you haven't signed up already, though, this was a race for the Zwift Academy, actually, for the men and the women. So if you want to be a part of the largest online training community in the world, you can go ahead and jump on over to academy.zwift.com, and you are able to sign up over there in these races. If you are a part of this race and you're watching the replay, maybe you came back to see this and you're getting the requirements done anyways, go ahead and jump on over to academy.zwift.com. Jump into there. 8 group rides, 5 workouts, I believe it is, and or maybe it's the other way around. Let me just double check this so I don't So I'm not quoting it incorrectly, but it is 5 group rides, excuse me. I believe 8 workouts and 2 races is what you got to do in order to complete that community effort and get in better shape through the Zwift Academy. Unlock those in-game kit, as well as for every 10 people that complete it for the men's side, they will give away a bike to the Qhubeka Foundation. Actually, absolutely awesome. And then for the women's side, there's also the pro contract that's given away for Canyon SRAM, and then the Team Dimension Data U23 pro contract for the men as well. So definitely head on over to academy.zwift.com. You still can register all the way through the 15th. So 6-week program, but you have all the way through the 15th of September. You haven't missed it. I think a lot of people think that they still can't register because they missed the cutoff date. No, the cutoff date is going to be September 15th. So it's a 6-week program. Got plenty of time to complete it. Head on over to academy.zwift.com. All right, so here we go through for Wisselsberger. Grunwald, it looks like here. Saunders, Binfield, all up the front end of this B category race, actually. M. Ladd now. Is he actually attacking off the front now? No, this is actually lap traffic here, so it will be Lemon 31 seconds back from there. So here we go. Van Mossel now coming out of the Netherlands with a little bit of attack here. 5.5 watts per kilogram from Wisselsberger. It does look like Mr. Jode here from Belgium jumping back into the racing as of recently. Looks like he's going to be trying to take the win here as well, but it will be Wisselsberger here making it happen out of Germany at 5.167 watts per kilogram through the hall here into the square. And with this last final attack, will he be able to make it happen? Now down to 0 watts per kilogram. I think it's a dropout, boys and girls. A flat tire. PTZ, get your team car up there to fix that one. Mr. Jode right along with Mossel. I'm not sure that we're going to see Wisselsberger again. The BRT boys are in force though at the front on those orange Tron bikes here. Actually looking through, is that he's on the Cervelo, it looks like S5 without the Tron, the next fastest bike out on course actually. Grunwald now 4.7 watts per kilogram up at the front. Will BRT be able to make it happen? Will be an innovation here with P. Mason as well. Still a lot of riders in amongst this group. Who is going to make it happen in this B category race today? Let's hear your predictions there over at the social media at Z Community Live or over at Zwift's Facebook. Will it be TKBE with Mitch de Jode? Will it be an unattached rider coming on through Grunwald or Van Mossel? Will it be Carmelite or will it be a Lemon here out of Australia? TKBE, we've also got PTZ with Jones. Will Wisselsberger get back on turns even and make it for the sprint? Will it be G. Jones though there for the PTZ team? Who else is riding in here? We've got BRT as well with Whitlocks and a couple of other riders there from the BRT team as well. So we also have Hagvist here coming out of Sweden. Lots and lots of riders. Actually, Hagvist out of Sweden there, 23 point. He looks like he's about to be lapped, actually. So not a part of the sprint finish here. But now Van Mossel out of the Netherlands here leading things out 157 beats per minute. Lemon there trying to follow it up will be Mitch de Jode there from the TKBE team there, 4.8 watts per kilogram. Looking over his shoulder. Looks like the group is hunting him down. Nobody going anywhere just yet. Up and out of the saddle, though, will be Van Mossel again with that green sprinters jersey looking to take the sprint here. Looks like he may be playing the lead-out train, though, as all the riders are just glued to his wheel. Ramping up to 31 miles per hour right now, up and over the 50K or so. And now we are going to have Lemon now, 5.1 watts per kilogram. Here come the Aero power-ups. TKBE with Mitch de Jode now making his way to the front. But here comes Worthington from the BRT team, 10 watts per kilogram with the Aero power-up. Not sure he's going to be seen again, but innovation with 6.0. Jones from the PTZ's got 13 watts per kilogram, chasing him down quickly, but I don't think there's enough landscape to make it happen. It will be Worthington from the BRT team, followed by Mason from the innovation team, and I believe it is the Hedgehog. We'll have to double check that real quick as he came across the line in that B category. Let's go ahead and check out front of C's are heading for a bell lap. Louis Denzel is saying thank you so much, I appreciate that. We'll see if we can find him out on course actually here. I am back amongst the racers, it looks like. C categories just heading out onto their bell lap. We'll see if we can find them. But first, as we do that, let's see if what's going on with the results for the A category. It does look like, let's see if we can bring this in here real quickly. It was Mr. Tim Cartwright, followed by Bokerod here. Let's go ahead and get a first name here for Mr. Frode Bokerod, actually coming out of Norway, 66 races, actually. FTP of 380, solid result there for him today. Actually, you can see it update already with a silver there, 9.5. Solid effort there. Person there was in that second place, riding for SZ, the Swedish team. Mark Race WBR, riding for the WBR team, followed by Stan for that second place out, or excuse me, fifth place out there today. In the B category, the Worthington for the Bolt Racing team, solid effort there. P. Mason there from Innovation, followed by Jay Stevenson, just nipping it at the line ahead of the Hedgehog, who was an A racer actually, and then Jones for fourth place, followed by Grunwell for fifth. Solid effort all around from those riders. We are out looking for the C category for their final lap as they are coming around for the sprint finish here. We'll see if we can make our way toward them and get that coverage for all of you. It is a 20. Yeah, so we are finding a lot of the riders finishing up for the B category right now, though. So it does look like there is a large group chasing down the riders that were just coming in. It does look like Whitey right along with Roden and quite a few others. Let's go ahead and jump in with them right now as they're finishing up, and then we'll jump in with the C category momentarily here. We are seeing quite a few of these Zwift Academy riders out there right now. Bain here, one of the Zwift Academy riders, with Souza there, 7 seconds up in this B category, looking for, let's go ahead and see, is it going to be a top, maybe a top 30 today in the B category? Brigneval there from the Vikings team, though. It looks like this is a solo effort off the front right now. P. Allen trying to chase him down about 4 seconds back. Also a part of the Zwift Academy here. 5.7 watts per kilogram coming from Allen there. We'll go ahead and give Brigneval a ride on from the Vikings team. Usually see him in and amongst the lead, though, so interesting to see him off the back. Maybe a little bit of a technical issue, or perhaps he not having the best day on the bike, but usually Brigneval is in it for the win. But now he's going to give us a little bit of a kick, 5.1 watts per kilogram, 190 beats per minute, 185, whew, and a little bit of a show as he is giving us the Viking sprint there at about 300 meters to go, 9.6, 9.1, 9.4 watts per kilogram, 800 watts, 188 beats per minute. Absolutely burning the matches out here today. Back in with the C's. Here we go, though, as Brigneval finishes it up. I was told that the front runners in the C's were heading out onto their bell lap just a moment ago. I think we are heading into the front runners of the C's here. More right along with, it looks like Lena is in here as well. Edmonds, and then it will be N. Moore. Vanderhoward, I believe, here is up at the front. Keto, it looks like, there as well with Mason. Jay Ferris, I think, here from the BRT team. I think this is the front runners for this group. Cooper is off the front, though, with North. This is the gap right now. It's 14 seconds to Nogueira out of Portugal, with North there out of looks like Australia. Rugeron there from France, followed by Murray, and then Dodsworth from the BRT team. So two off the front here in the C category. Looks like it was a little bit more interesting than the holding hands that we saw from the A and the B category. Shots fired, boys and girls. But looking through here for the C category will be Herman and Lubine as well, Briggs and Bottomore. There are actually a few up from Cooper and the rest here in this C category. Let's go ahead and see if we do find any. If we do click forward, Gibbons is here from the D category. It does look like it will be Briggs actually there with Bottomore and Herman. I was incorrect. That is not the lead group. That is it will be Utst here. Coming out of Germany with 3.7 watts per kilogram, though. That is a solid B category rider. So time for an upgrade for A Hoots. It does look like it is his first time racing, though, out on Zwift. So we'll give him a ride on. Welcome to the world of racing. Nice job on your upgrade to the B category out there today. It will be G Del Fava, though. Next one we are seeing out of South Africa in the C category. He's actually got one to go with A. Berg trying to hang on to his wheel. So it will be Herman here from the BRT team, 2.9 watts per kilogram within category limits at 185 beats per minute, trying to hold off Lubine out of the UK at about 5 seconds or so. The BRT rider here. Solid effort there on that specialized bike with that power tap kit, but it looks like 3.8 watts per kilogram. Levine's trying to chase him down. Baltimore, it's all every man for himself at this point with these gaps right now for the win in the C category. Will he be able to hold him off? Baltimore's got 4.3 watts per kilogram. He can see, that's the thing about Zwift. You can see exactly what the effort is on the far right hand side though, because 3.6 watts per kilogram right here, Lubine there 3.6. It's like they're just matching each other right now over threshold. You know that they're C category riders. They've been actually within category limits almost the entire time, so you know that they're over what they can hold for 1 hour straight, just trying to hold on to it right now. And you can see this effort here coming from Herman here. Let's actually see what his max heart rate is. We can see that over at zwiftpower.com what his max heart rates have been. 42 races out on Zwift, the 249 FTP, it looks like 187, 189 or so. He's actually right toward his absolute max. Levine's kicking it though, 5.3 watts per kilogram, no heart rate monitor on, but Baltimore not going to be able to catch him. Levine here trying to make it happen right now. This is the last ditch effort, but with 4 seconds and only 200 meters to go, Herman would just have to have a zero dropout, have nothing left to give, as Levine's not going to be able to close that down. What an effort there from Herman off the front for the Bolt Racing team, and that'll be the win in the C category, followed by A. Lubine there, second place. Baltimore will be taking third in the C category. Briggs now, we'll give him a ride on there for his effort there for that third place. Briggs there trying to get across the line, and it will be fourth place for P. Briggs. And it does look like there are a few lap riders here now. It will be A. North there looking for that fourth and fifth place with Cooper. Him and Cooper from the KRT racing team, the KISS racing team, are going to be battling out all the way to the line. We'll go ahead and give him a ride on. Cooper there as well, give him a ride on as they make their way to the line. And it looks like Cooper now trying to hold on to that wheel, but there's a little bit of a gap. So now North with 8 meters not getting that draft. Cooper's going to be dropped off, and North might be able to hold this off, but here comes Cooper with that arrow power up now, and I'm not sure that North was expecting that. Now getting the jump on him a little bit. Here goes Cooper, 8 watts per kilogram. North there trying to jump on the wheel with 200 meters, though he's not going to be able to jump on that wheel, boys and girls. 5.3 watts per kilogram is what he's got to give, and Cooper with that kick to the finish line. Going to be taking it here today for the fourth place today out on course. North there coming across for fifth for the C category. Nice job all around for the riders in that C category today. And Tim Cartwright is saying that last half for lap was an absolute killer. The groups now move so fast. Cartwright, so what, Tim, can you actually, I wish you were in Discord. We'd be able to chat with you right now, actually. I'll go ahead and grab you, but let me know, did you actually, it looked like you guys were trying to sprint from the finish there, or I just make the mistake, and that was actually a calculated attack from you and Brendan. That would be really great to know, actually, because it looked like you guys were sprinting for the finish, but maybe it was just a calculated attack. Great coverage under DS radio control tonight. Lewis Dinsdale is saying thanks so much for the shot there. If you guys would like to get involved in the broadcast, you can do so. Lewis gave you guys a great example there at Z Community Live, over on Twitter. Go ahead and give us a shot. That looks like coming from the Pain Cave there. Absolutely under Director Sportif radio control tonight. Louis Tinzo is saying I absolutely love it. And another thing, guys and gals, we do have a Discord. Head on over to ZwiftCommunityLive.com. And we're going to start trying to bring you guys in for post-race interviews. So if you would like to do so, we're going to create a channel for racers, specifically in the B, the C, the D, and the A categories. And we'll have for the races an A, a B, a C, and a D category for post-race chats. So if you would like to jump on into the Discord, we do have a link to get directly into the Zwift Community Live Discord at ZwiftCommunityLive.com. You'll see a little icon on ZwiftCommunityLive.com. That's a Discord icon, and that'll give you access directly to our Discord server. Though there was one more lap, we need 3 riders to get away as a group, so just trying for a selection. Gotcha, Tim. It is very difficult to get away now with the drafting. Definitely got a killer effort. It looked like there, man. You guys were up in that 180s for such a long time. Roadrunner's in there as well. He says I almost died. We've got a little bit of a post-race interview coming through here right now between the riders, actually. Absolutely great to see you guys jumping in here with the chat right now. So thanks a lot for tuning in, you guys. Thanks a lot for racing. Great job. Again, if you haven't done so already, make sure to jump on into the Zwift Academy. For if you are racing out there right now, it is a part of the requirements. So if you sign up over at academy.zwift.com, you've already got part of the requirements done, and go ahead and do so, and you will be a part of one of the largest training communities online, as well as being a leader to encourage U23s to get on with the Team Dimension data, as also amongst women, being a leader amongst women for that pro contract that they will be shooting for. So if you do know anybody that was interested as well, let them know all about it. Here's a little promo put together by Zwift, what the Team Dimension Data Zwift Academy is all about. Oh, and it's not playing. Let's go ahead and give this a quick little there we go. Sorry about that, guys.
This September, Team Dimension Data and Zwift are joining forces to create a unique cycling opportunity. Open to cyclists of all ages and abilities, the Team Dimension Data Zwift Academy is a world-class training program designed to make you a rider who will accomplish more than just personal fitness gains. For every 10 cyclists who graduate the academy, Zwift will donate a Qhubeka bike to help mobilize South African communities.
The work that we do with Qhubeka, we can change the lives of many different people in communities, and hopefully one day a child that starts on a Qhubeka bicycle ends up at the Tour de France. Zwift is an amazing platform to connect with fans and to ride with people around the world, and takes indoor training to another level.
Zwift, it feels real, like you do a climb, 20-minute climb, a 30-minute climb, it feels real, and that you can really relate that to racing. I always say it's like the best thing since SRM.
I think it's a lot of people that are really strong and maybe not have the chance to show how strong they are.
The Academy doesn't stop here. Top performing graduates under the age of 22 will be invited to compete for a contract with Team Dimension Data's U23 Continental Squad.
This is a real opportunity for any under 23 rider from around the world to come into our Continental team to showcase their talent and to be a part of the national team circuits and the under 23 circuits, and then potentially get into the world tours.
I truly believe that Zwift Academy is going to fill in a huge chunk of that journey from being a dreamer to the reality at the end.
Zwift and Team Dimension Data challenge you to train today for a stronger, better tomorrow. Take action now and sign up at academy.zwift.com.
So that is for the men's Zwift Academy. That was the promo video coming from them, but there's open to all ages and abilities of riders for both the men and the women. Canyon SRAM is the partner behind the women's side. Both of them are talent identification programs, but it's also all about being a part of the largest training community online. Absolutely awesome partnership with both Team Dimension Data and Canyon SRAM with the Zwift Academy. Head on over to academy.zwift.com for more about that. Tomorrow, though, next up on Zwift Community Live, we've got Coach Hendy. Workout Wednesday, boys and girls. Go ahead and jump in with us for a workout. The Sir Wigo. This is going to be a tough one, I think. But he said it was one of the Greg Henderson, right, for UHC, and now launching the Coach Hendy coaching website, coachhendy.com. It's going to be a workout that he said is one of the most efficient, actually, for gaining fitness. So I'm really excited for the suffering. It's going to be a good workout, boys and girls. Greg will be joining me tomorrow for Workout Wednesday, so make sure to tune in for that. And we will have an update on our Facebook real soon about where to download the ZWO file and upload it into your Zwift if you'd like to join us live for that. All right, as always, great job to all of the racers out there. It was a really exciting race today. A lot of attacks, a lot of solid efforts from all the categories today. You saw the heart rates were high all around. Doesn't matter what category you were a part of. Everybody got a great workout today. So great job to all of the riders, as always. And Tim Cartwright says, from earlier, I was second in national 25-mile TT. So please. So Tim Cartwright, who you guys just saw in the race out here on the KISS race, he got second in the national 25-mile TT. So definitely a time trial specialist out there. Nice job out there, Tim Cartwright, in the real world. Looks like Zwift is paying off for him. So great job to all the riders, though. And you guys will see you tomorrow for some suffering with Mr. Greg Henderson in the Coach Hendy ride. And as always, ride on.